Welcome to the Sketchup with Plans video series. My name is Luca Dal Molino. I run the website sketchupwithplans.com, where you can download woodworking plans made with SketchUp and participate to my blog. In this video, we are going to illustrate some basic tools you can use in Google SketchUp. Just to handle the SketchUp file you can have attached to the woodworking plans you can buy on the store section of my website sketchupwithplans.com, and you can use it even if you don't know how to use SketchUp. That I remind you to be free download from Google. First of all, I'm going to stress the importance of saving a copy of this file before modifying it. So if you have any occurrence leading to an error, you can just close the file and open again, so you will have this file once again as new. And the first three important tools you can use on SketchUp to handle the model, and as you can see, this is a workbench model and it's quite a complex one. The three listed here on the toolbar. So starting from the left, there is the orbit tool, and I'm going to select it, and the orbit tool just lets you orbit around your model. So if you click on the left button on your mouse and you hold on it, you can just orbit around the model and see many parts of the workbench that you may be interested to watch. So it's quite an advantage because you may not find on the woodworking plan or the PDF file what you're exactly looking for, but this way you have a complete view of your model. You can alternatively accomplish this task by just clicking the wheel on your mouse. I'm doing it now, and holding the wheel down, you can orbit easily without selecting the tool. There's another important tool on the right hand side of the orbit tool, and it is the pan tool. I'm going to select it, and with the pan tool I can just pan to the left and to the right on the model and to position it wherever I want it to be. Now we're going to take a look to the zoom tool. The zoom let me zoom in and zoom out, and I do it clicking the left button on the mouse. I hold it down and I move the mouse now forward and then backwards to zoom out from the model. So as you can see, it's quite easy to use it, and you can accomplish this task just moving forward and backwards, as I'm doing now, the center wheel on your mouse. So another tool very easy to use. But now let's take a look to an important tool you will use on your model, and it is the tape measure tool. And select it. With the tape measure tool, I just can measure the distance and the measures of various components on the model. And for example, I want to measure the dimension of the cheek of the vise. So selecting the orbit tool, I position the model in an easy way to measure it, and I'm going to pan it now to the right and zoom in, so it's easy to determine the position of the tape measure tool. I select now the tape measure tool. I click on the corner of the cheek I want to measure. I click and I go just to the end of the cheek, and as you can see, you have 430 millimeters. So now you know that the cheek is 430 millimeters long and is 20 millimeters thick, and you can also know the width of the cheek, and it is 100 millimeters thick. So it's another easy tool to use. Let's go back to the select tool and let's position the model so it's easy to see. And you can also change the style of your model. You can just go to the view here and select face style. For example, if you select X-ray, you can see an X-ray view of your model, and we zoom in and we orbit, and I can see inside the model, just inside the model, so you can see here the dock blocks and the front rail and the right end cleat. You can easily see the joints and determine all the positions you want to see. I go back and I do it just clicking on, just hitting the X-ray key on the keyboard. So we reposition the model, and now we take a look to another option of the view. On the face style, we can also see a color model. If you select shaded, now you can see the model that is colored, or you can even take a look to the textures of the model by selecting shaded with texture. So you have a lot of options to handle this model with some basic tools. We go back to the view, and once again we select monochrome as a default style. Another important feature you have in Google SketchUp is to take a look to only some parts of the model. For this I prepared some layers on the model. You can have an access to layers just clicking on window and selecting layers. So I prepared different parts regarding the bench top, the base, and the tools cabinets. So for example, if you want to take a look only to the bench top, you deselect the base and you deselect the tools cabinet. So now shift the layers dialog box, and now you see only the bench top. It's easy to have only display this view because you can go on the bottom of your model and see how it is built. And for example, you can see here the filler block where the vise is attached, and you can also see how the dot blocks are inserted. It's easily explained also in the PDF, but if you have any doubt, you can come here and take a look to it. So this is the tail vise filler block just here, and you see the vise is attached from below with screws, and this is the front vise filler block that is displayed. So for example, I want to take a look only to the base because I'm not interested at the moment at the bench top. So I select the base and I deselect the bench top, and you can see displayed only the base. And let's take an example. I want to see how the stretcher is joined to the post, and I click X on the keyboard, and you can see here that we have the threaded rod inserting, passing through the tenon and going here to we have now look without X-ray, and you can see now the threaded rod. So as you can see, you can take a lot of advantages from having this file. Let's have a normal view, and now I want to take a look to the tools cabinet and deselect the base, and this is the tool cabinet. Okay, I click on X and I have an X-ray view, and I see inside what's inside. And I can see, for example, here there's a hole where the vise mechanics pass through and attach to the bench top. And there is another effective way to look inside the model, and if you click on the select tool and with the mouse you right click the button, you have the possibility to hide some parts of the model. So when I click on hide, I actually hide this component, so I can see inside the model and to see how, for example, drawers are inserted in the workbench. When I want to go back and restore my component, I go here on edit and unhide, and I select last or all if I deselected more than one component. So this is the power of layers, and we reestablish the normal view and we close layers. So the last thing I want to show you is the fact that I selected 3 scenes available on the model. So when you click on one of these scenes, you have different stabilized views of your model. For example, if you want to take a look at the workbench when it is complete, you click just here and you have your complete workbench. But I selected also the drawer view. It's another scene. I click on it and I can see here the exploded view of my drawer. So I zoom in, I select the select tool and I orbit around it, and I can see the joints of the sides and the fronts of the drawers, and also I can see the grooves that let the bottom of the drawer sit in. For example, I want to measure the thickness of this groove. I select the tape measure tool and I see that it is 8 millimeters. So let's go back to the select tool and we take a look to the last scene, that is the door exploded. Okay, this is the exploded view of the door, and you can see now the joint is the tenon and the mortise of the door. So you see that it's a very effective way to use this model. So that's all for this video. You have watched a SketchUp with Plans video. If you want to follow my blog or purchase woodworking plans and metrics, come and visit sketchupwithplans.com. Bye bye!